Wow, so much for being consistent. At least I'm consistent on posting every 2 months. This episode here is dedicated to my friend Fossil for creating the new sprites that you're going to see on screen. His sprites were also able to get me a really good grade on an assignment I did recently, so I'm extremely thankful for that. And so because of that, this episode also dedicates his two favorite hunters, Nightmare and later on Valentina. He also had a couple other options, but these were the two that I decided to play because they're pretty easy for me. Now, I know Nightmare is also, really fucking ass, but somehow I just managed to make him work. It helps that I'm kind of in the lower tiers of Tier 5 right now, so people are still not, the best fighters, but still gives me a little bit of a challenge at most. See, this Enchantress right here actually puts up a pretty good fight. She doesn't go down very easily like most of them would. I decided to go put a crow, and I tried to go put it on her. And it actually did land perfectly enough. Sometimes I end up missing, as you'll see in this point in the match. Or at the points in the match, I should say, where I'll miss the crow a few times and kind of waste it. But got her pretty easily on the first 5 ciphers, which is nice. I went to go chair her by the Embalmer cipher so that he can go decode easily without me pressuring him there. And I kind of just decided to go pressure him a little bit more by chasing after him a little bit, even though it cost me the chair right here and I lost Enchantress for a good portion of the match after that. But it was still worth it just to go get some early damage on him, even though this was not the smartest move I could have done. Especially because this also took me a while just to even go get that hit on him. Nice blink right there, though. I put the crow back on the cipher, but I was kind of too late to go get them. I'm actually still surprised, though, that the crow even managed to land on the chair still. Nice big spike. Very lovely. As you can see, I lost Enchantress, so I went looking the other way because I had no fucking clue where she went. Also, this episode, I decided not to use Nightmare's S tier because of how much I grinded to get Petey. Fun story, when I first had his essence, I wailed. I'm not proud of it, I did wail. And instead of getting anything that I actually wanted, I got Journalist's S tier and Joseph's A tier, and no Petey. At least now I can say I have all the skins from that essence, or at least all the skins that I wanted. Quick editor's note here, because I just realized I forgot to tell you guys how I got P80. It's because I did the movie buff event thing, where you can pull a skin by spending a little bit, and so I spent just enough to guarantee myself P80. A very good choice, by the way. Peak skin. And now that mostly everyone's injured, it was pretty good for me in a pretty good position because we're only 4 ciphers in and they're too busy healing. So that gives me more time to chair because they're going to be too busy healing each other. Now, I had a good feeling that Journalist was coming, and Journalist is always a bit of a pain in the ass when it comes to the basement. However, I was still willing to, put a crow on the chair and just kind of walk around a little bit. I actually don't think I put a crow on the chair this time. Usually I will. Now here I don't know what she was thinking because what are you gonna do with all of your entrances just completely blocked? I even managed to hit her little Orpheus on the way down, which is pretty good. And that gave me enough time to kind of stall and make sure that the chair would hit its limit. I think Archer actually went AFK here because she just didn't even bother moving after that. So after I hit her, I went after Journalist again, but unfortunately Enchantress came down to body block her. I guess maybe she wanted to try to save Archer, even though Archer is definitely AFK. So we kind of just went in this little standstill right here where I put my attack on her and I just kind of stalled her out for a little bit. And more ping spikes, obviously. But I think she was really trying to wait it out to try to get Archer, and I couldn't really terror shock her because she was just too far away. However, this is kind of a dumb move for Enchantress because Enchantress is already on the chair, so I don't know why she thought this would be a good idea. All you're doing is taking more damage and screwing yourself over. But she was so determined to try to stun and save the Archer. Because I'm still pretty sure Archer is AFK because she's starting to bleed. So here I decided just to take that big stun. And still, instead of getting the hell out of there, she just lets me hit her. Good job, Enchantress. So I take out Archer and put her on the chair because I don't even think she was at the keyboard at that point or at her screen. Easy kill for me. I put Enchantress down. And I knew that she already had the coffin, so I was preparing my crow because I was like, yeah, this is going to be a very easy tie right here. And I was in a good position to get a win anyway. So as soon as I went after Enchantress, I put the attack on her and waited for the bubble pop. After it does, she gives me a good stun, but I'm able to go get her before she pallet stuns me. Now I just wait for it to fall. Did a little bit of fireworks, but I had to cancel them early because I didn't want to swing. I didn't want to screw myself over. And chase Journalist a little bit, but I wasn't gonna screw myself over again and let her struggle out once I chair her. Now I see at this point that they're on one cipher, so I went after Journalist because I knew that I wasn't gonna get the 4K on this, but I could at least get a win. Got the attack on her, I'm just waiting now. She tries to do Orpheus a few times this match. I'm pretty smart enough to just bait the Orpheus. Too many pink spikes this match. I didn't turn off my Wi-Fi because that screwed me up. Good crow teleport right there. And usually like I'll do is I'll turn off my Wi-Fi and use my data because that'll give me a better ping and there's a crow miss that I mentioned. But as soon as I go get this Journalist and I go get her, I think that's when they pop. But at that point, it's already an easy win for me. It's just a little bit more chasing here. It was unfortunate for her that the dungeon didn't manage to spawn in this location. I would say it's still pretty close though. Because at one point I did think that Embalmer was going to be at that gate over there, but he managed not to be. So it's pretty lucky for me that I managed to get Journalist in time. Again, she goes to try to bait with Orpheus, but I managed to just bait him instead. And by bait him, I mean completely leave him alone. I put a crow on her just to be safe in case she got too far away. Managed to hit her. And I go to check the other gate just in case, but there's the surrender. GG, guys. And now on to the next one. So, as promised, I am playing Valentina for this one, and Valentina's S tier was one of the best purchases I've ever made at this game with my fragments, because holy shit, this thing is fucking pretty. She is stunning. Valentina, I feel, is such an underrated hunter, despite, like, me only playing hunter, so I have no clue what the play rate is. But, I mean, like, that's kind of my fault, but who cares? So this match, and again, there's the ping strike, so I just go through objects. This match, I wanted to try to get as many of the little chip damage things, but I just kept kind of fucking up and hanging the wrong material. Also, I just get completely fucked up by ping spikes in the beginning, so that's why half of my abilities just look extremely fucked up, and why I'm just walking through objects at some points. But I do manage to get some abilities at least, but half this match is literally just me unintentionally getting the vine power up because I did not want that one. But none of the objects I was absorbing was giving me the intended purpose. Stun right there, but he gets stuck, so it's an easy hit. After that ping spike. God, way too many this match. Way too many. I think at one point I just gave up and turned off my Wi-Fi just to use my data. That was not the best opening right there, but at least I was able to get in here. I was able to break their answer box without getting stunned. I even actually managed to hit her, so now I go after Dancer instead of Prisoner because she's right here. Blink through the window just so I can get closer and get a good hit. I actually did chip her first so that she would slow down slightly, and that gives me the edge to get a hit on her. Thank God I'm right next to the basement, so I managed to go put her in there. I think she stopped struggling when she realized she was by the basement because it was just a futile attempt, honestly. So now once she's in the basement, I go to collect some metal affinity. That's always helpful to give me a stronger range to hit people. Also so that I can get through stuns faster. I go off the pallet, and instead of getting the rock one that I wanted, I end up getting the fucking mine again. I start looking everywhere because I see I have tinnitus, but nobody actually came for this rescue. Spoiler alert. I take out that before the cipher goes off. Big fuck. And I just kind of walk around and I wait to see if anybody's coming. In the replay, I can see that Cowboy is here, but I think he didn't even bother because he was just more focused on the cipher, which honestly, fair enough. I wait a little bit longer because I just want to be absolutely certain, since I had tinnitus, But once I realized that Tinnitus went away, I just kind of walked off because I realized nobody was coming and she died anyways. Once again, I get the Vine power-up instead of the one that I actually wanted, and yes, I called them power-ups, I don't know why. Now I get the rock one that I actually wanted and decide to use it. I do get the Starman Cowboy actually, and I use the metal power to hit him a little bit further. And now because I still have it, it's a little bit harder for him to pallet stun me because now he's scared. I get some more metal and I go to hit him through the pallet. And that's another chair for me. These matches I did surprisingly well with ciphers because usually I get cipher rushed very early on. Here I saw I had Tinnitus again. I went to try to get the rock and instead I got the Vine again. So I decided to use the Vine and actually see if anybody's nearby. Next time I used the Vine, I actually do manage to get a close-up on somebody, and I think it was Mechanic, because Prisoner were just kind of scared to rescue. And I kind of gave them the opening by going with the Vine. Tried again for the rock and still get the Vine, so that's lovely. Now I pull up on Mechanic so that she can't end the cipher too quickly. In replay, the Vine kind of looks a little bit off. I'd use the metal here for a little bit of a faster stun recovery, so that's why I was able to get Mechanic, and also because she made the stupid move of vaulting over the pallet. Once I put her down, Cowboy gets rescued, but I'm able to get at least Mechanic on a chair, so it's basically like a good trade-off. And right now they're healing, I didn't notice that. I managed to get the rock finally. I take out the connection. I use the Vine so I can try to see if I can catch anybody off guard. And because I see Cowboy, I just go for it. Now, I'm not sure why the injured one was trying to go for the rescue, because that wouldn't even be a good idea even if you got the correct lasso, because I would still just be able to hit him and Mechanic like shortly afterwards. So because of that, I managed to down Cowboy. And now I realize that Prisoner is coming, or at least he's trying to, and he's the only one that's actually at full health. Once again, we get the Vine, even though I'm trying to get the other power-ups. God damn it. I go to grab Cowboy, I put him on the chair because Mechanic's basically dead. No chance of rescuing her. And now that I realized that Cowboy was also on the second chair, I had to really look in the dungeon. That was kind of a mistake in not slugging him. But on the bright side, at least it's a win, so I don't really care that much. I had to like really look around because I had no clue where the dungeon was. And I kind of realized too late that the dungeon was on the other side of the map and not in these locations I went searching in. The Prisoner was able to get there faster than I was. So, good job, Prisoner. You were very smart. The rest of the match is me just kind of looking around and him getting to the dungeon faster than I could realize it was there. But hey, a win is a win, so I'll take it. I will definitely take it. Good game, Prisoner. Good job. Good game, everybody.